Hi everyone. I am going through such profound insights these last several days. I'm actually so grateful that there is this clarity coming because I began the new year with a lot of it was still very foggy and very hazy, and I knew that there was something that needs to be born, but I wasn't quite sure. And as I mentioned last week, I had a book that I knew about for a while now. It's called The Surrender Experiment. I've been wanting to read it for a while, and just, it wasn't the time. And I ordered it right before the holidays and received it last week. And I just finished it, couldn't put it down. It just is such a it just helped so much to put some of the last little bits in perspective about what I've been going through in the last 10 years. And I guess one of the things that I often tell to people, that if somebody were to tell me even 5 years ago what I'd be doing now, I would laugh. I would just be like, that's ridiculous. And definitely 10 years ago, it was just impossible to even imagine where I was 10 years ago in 2013, end of 2013, beginning of 2014. My world was just seriously started unraveling in many, many, many ways. And to imagine what would be on the other side of it was impossible. And the thing is that I'm nowhere near the end because, it's just that I guess what's wonderful now, what's so comforting now is that I can look back at a huge stretch of time, 10 years, and can see with clarity now how the right people came and the right information came and the right books arrived on time and the right messages were received, and breadcrumbs were given and the right programs appeared in my vision, and the right people, became my coaches and mentors. And to look back to the miracle of how my life has unfolded in the last 10 years is awesome, awe-inspiring, and it also shifts my relationship with grief, because until literally even a few days ago, perhaps, I was still considering some portions of this journey in the last 10 years as containing so much loss. I still felt like I was grieving so much of what I had to give up. And what I understood finishing this book today is that life was just preparing me for the next stage of what it meant to be me. I would have never voluntarily done this crazy leap, from it was like really 180 degrees. I would have never voluntarily gone there. I just don't think that it was unthinkable. I couldn't even imagine. So to come to that realization that everything that I considered loss, everything that I considered that emotionally I experienced as punishment, actually was just life in its infinite wisdom, taking away what I no longer needed so that I could step more surely into this next version of who I am. And basically, by that, was preparing me for the next stage. And now again, 10 years later, or even 5 years later, looking back, it all kind of makes sense. And it already was making sense for quite a while now. I would say good 3 years or so since I've been doing my coaching and group programs and everything, and all the growth that represented, and also becoming relating to my message as a business as well. Creating a business around it was also a huge spiritual journey, relationship with money, all that. But still, there was still a part of me that felt that the loss was just so great. Not to say too great. It was just so great that I couldn't quite, I still kind of lived it as a grief. And this morning, I think there was a final piece that kind of dissolved because, or at least where I stand right now, it's just so clear that everything is just perfect the way it is, and that whatever change, whatever crisis that life presents in front of us, whatever change that kind of brings us out of the inertia of the comfort of the daily life, it's to give us power to create change, whereas most of us use that power that's being stirred to resist change. So yeah, so as life presents these situations that sometimes look like problems, the reaction that is stirred within us usually helps us push it away or resist it or fix it, try solutions to keep the status quo. And what I'm realizing now is that that energy that's stirred within us is there to actually create the change that we're being invited to create in order to continue flowing with life and being, in that kind of dance with life where we're not resisting that which is not in our control. So a lot of suffering comes from resisting what we cannot control. And so just this is where I'm at this afternoon. Spent the morning finishing the book and then journaling about everything, just to kind of make it organized in my head, and to really embody the new insights that I received. And already, I woke up this morning with this realization about one particular item in my life, that there is nothing wrong with that I've been shaming myself about it, which also was kind of part of the resistance to step into the new. And, that I woke up with like, oh my God, there is nothing wrong with that. And that was, I feel like, the final kind of puzzle piece that needed to go in to create inner harmony. So yeah, that's me today. See you tomorrow.